If you've been online this week, then you've seen the resignation of Professor Jason Arday from Cambridge, youngest black professor. Accusations of plagiarism and embellishment and exaggeration and straight out lies about his CV. But one thing that you might have seen is this man.
Racist is just the word that they use to refer to somebody who questions the woke ideology.
Platform now on different podcasts and TV news channels. His name is Nathan Cofnas, an American philosopher of biology. But one of the reasons that he's controversial is because he doesn't just dislike the idea of increasing representation amongst academics in the UK, where less than 2% of professors are black. Instead, he thinks that we should scrap the idea of increasing representation because we are not biologically equal. Black people are less intelligent than their white peers, is something that he believes. Hereditarianism, also what he calls race realism. Part of why people like him have gained prominence might do or have something to do with funding. We're talking about Peter Thiel and people like Charles Vaughan, who is connected to Thiel's venture capital fund, who has been able to create a network of academics at institutions like Oxford and Cambridge who believe in pseudoscientific race science. For example, Charles Murray, who co-wrote The Bell Curve in 1994 and argued that there were biological differences in terms of intelligence, and that is based on race. But the Human Genome Project mapped out all of our DNA. And what they found is that if you took any two human beings on Earth, they share 99.9% of the same DNA. So where do these ideas come from, and have they been disproved? Well, on the latter, yes. We're talking about the American Psychological Association, which published papers 2 years after The Bell Curve was released and found that environmental factors were the cause. Or you could talk about Nisbet et al. In 2012, who found that when you took into account these environmental differences, then you could explain to a large degree differences in terms of IQ testing, which has been criticized as an imperfect way of measuring how human beings are differently intelligent and enabled. But one more thing, when I asked you about whether or not or where these ideas come from, we could also just talk about what they do, which is during the Second World War, the Nazis, phrenology, eugenics, the idea of one race being superior to another led to the murder of millions of Jews and many more. And ironically, Cofnas, the name, has Jewish roots. It's those same Jewish roots that have been persecuted throughout history, especially in Europe, and especially linked to the idea of race science. And at a time when British Jews are facing anti-Semitism and hate crimes, amongst other groups who are also facing the idea that they are only their race or their religion, and that's how we can determine how to treat them, then the idea that we should be hearing from this kind of person will be of great danger and concern to many. But what do you think? Is this just a matter of free speech? Let us know your thoughts down below. You can follow Nova for more. Support our work on Patreon and help us reach 1,000 supporters.